Hi, friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the second part of the New Zealand series episode, continued from the previous one. The link is down in the description. If you have missed it, please make sure to watch the first part and then come to this because, as you know, all our episodes are structured in a kind of a storyline wherein which we begin from the very start of the journey of a student. That means the application, the selection of the university, the country, his or her parameters. So please make sure you watch the first episode and then bounce back to this one so that you are with us on the storyline. And the second episode, we go further deep into his journey on New Zealand. So before we start, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also the notification bell so that you get notified as soon as the next episode gets uploaded. And also do not forget to follow us on Instagram. The ID is the Student Insights Podcast. The same has been linked in the description below. Please make sure to follow me there because there is certain useful links that I would be posting on Instagram, some short content that would be specifically for Instagram only. And also, the next episode uploads would be notified first there and then it would come live on Instagram, on YouTube. So please make sure to follow on Instagram as well. So let's begin with the second part. See you at the end.
You
That's
have
my
an
next question for
opportunity
you.
over here.
When you are mentioning about websites or Facebook or social media platforms, there are many people, scamsters there, who kind of trick you in, giving you said you pay me a deposit and then I'll courier you the key. So how is that? How much should you trust somebody when you meet somebody on a social media? Because you as well have not met that person in real life. So what are your tips on
Yeah.
that?
So basically, it basically like because see, I had got a few tips from the people I had contacted before from the
Okay.
uni and stuff. I was in touch with them, so I used to ask questions to them like, how about the accommodation? Like, what all things should I keep in mind while
Mm-hmm.
selecting the accommodation? So they somewhat suggested me like, don't go for bonds, don't go for advance rent, just go pay, stay. That
Okay.
that mantra works over here. So it's like you just pay the weekly rent. That's all. So whenever somebody says me like, okay, pay the bond right now, the place is fixed for you. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, bye. Now I have to search another place. In my head, it was like, okay, bye. The conversation has ended over. So it is just like that. And when you talk to a person, your instinct, even
You get certain
your
vibes from a
instinct
person.
definitely says you about it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you get a vibe from that person as well. Like, okay, so this is somewhat, tricking me, and this is
It's
not the
something
right
fishy here.
person. Should I stay with? Yeah, something is fishy here. He is telling me something else. He's doing something else. The place, I'm not sure about it.
Sure.
So you have to get through it. The person I was mentioning about where I stayed for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually told him, I personally told him like, do I need to transfer something? Because I had that trust in him.
Okay.
So I met him. I just met him on like Facebook and all. We did a video call and he showed me the place, like, see, this is the place. And I'm like, okay, now I can, we can get to business.
Hmm.
So I asked him like, any bond I have to transfer, any rent do I have to transfer? So he was like, no, you don't have to give anything. When you come over here, when you stay over here, then you can pay me the rent. I'm like, okay, fine, that's perfect.
That's pretty transparent and
So
that's really good.
yeah, that he was a transparent guy, and it's
That's really great. And then also for property viewings, how does it work? Do you just look at a to-let board or an ad on online and you could just call and visit anytime, or is it fixed on a day on of a week, or depends on the availability of the person showing the house?
yeah. So it's basically here as like I used to message people, and sometimes people message me back saying, okay, you can come now and check.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's like sometimes it's very quick, sometimes it's responsive. It's very
Okay.
responsive, and sometimes it's like, okay, you can, because I'm a full-time working person, you can come on weekends to see.
Okay. So
So
depending
sometimes
upon
it's
the availability.
scheduled, sometimes it's, yeah. So sometimes there is availability. Sometimes the availability is as such that, I saw this place. I messaged the guy at
Mhm.
2:30, and he was like, "You can come at 4:30 and check the place and finalize." So
That's
the talks went till that. So I went by 4:30 at his place. I checked the place, and I took a time deciding my parameters.
yeah.
So I finalized this accommodation.
And also, let's talk about the very immediate things the student has to do. So once you land there, like how does opening a bank account work? How does the local registration system work there? What is the process for that?
Okay. So basically, I landed on 12th over here.
Hmm.
The first dollar that I spent over here was on a metro card.
Okay.
So basically, when I have a metro card, I can travel in around $3. But if
Okay.
I don't have a metro card, I the ticket price in cash is around $7.
Okay.
So
Is that a standard
yeah.
Metro card, or
So
is there something special for students in this as well?
no. In New Zealand, there's nothing special for students when it comes to metro.
Okay.
It's only for nurses.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only for nurses. If you are into a medical stream, I have a couple of friends who are nurses,
Mm-hmm.
so they travel for free.
Oh.
They don't have to pay anything, and they travel for free. So I researched about, like, now I have, let's say I have booked the ticket, I've landed on 12. So
Mm.
what next do I have to do?
Yes.
So I got a contact from my friend who was about to pick me up.
Okay.
So I had kept in mind, what if he doesn't pick me up? What
A
is
plan
my
B.
then plan of action? So the plan was like, okay, so after the airport thing is done, after all the security thing is done, I checked for a place where I can get a metro card.
Mm.
In the airport itself, there is this booth of a
Mm-hmm.
metro where they were giving metro cards. I had taken the printout of the form of the metro card, filled it, and kept it ready just to hand it over, get a metro card, and move forward.
Okay. So is there any charges that you have to pay except from refilling it, or a deposit of any kinds?
Oh yeah, so it is like $10 for the metro card, and then
Okay.
you can top up it as much as you want. So the
Okay.
minimum top up is $10.
Okay.
The getting a card is for $10, and minimum top up is $10.
Okay.
That was my first $20 that I spent in New Zealand.
Okay.
I had researched about it in India that I had to do three things.
Mm-hmm.
One was to enroll to my college. Then it's the bank thing that you have to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then the third thing is the IRD number. That is Inland Revenue Number. Inland Revenue Number. So that you
Okay.
take it, because when you're working part time, you should have that, because that's like a
Taxations.
tax. Yeah, that's like a taxation number for you that goes to the government.
Does the university, like in
Oh
my
yeah.
case, like the university provided reference letter stating that this person studies in this university and you can or we take guarantee of this person. So is there some paperwork
Okay.
that the university
So
provides the
here,
student?
the reference, yeah, the reference thing doesn't work over here.
Okay.
You don't need a reference over here. You just need an address proof over here
Mm-hmm.
that you have to give it to the bank,
Okay.
stating that this person stays in this accommodation, and now he's moving over there. My first action was to go to college, enroll myself, and get this address proof document. Then it comes like in New Zealand, when you open a bank account, you you have to take an appointment for that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I took an appointment for that. Then the next thing was the IRD number, which
Mm-hmm.
usually took 15 days to come.
Okay.
But somebody told me that when you apply it online and do things, you can get it in 10 days. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'll apply it online. I applied it online, and I was lucky over there as well. I got my IRD number in 3 days.
That's good, yeah.
So it basically you just have to, as a student in New Zealand, you just have to take three things in mind of documents. One is your IRD number, one is your
Mm,
college enrollment that you have to do, and
mm,
the bank account. These
okay.
three things are and last, fourthly, having a local contact number.
Yeah, SIM card.
So that you can, the local contact number, you can get it from any place in New Zealand. It just needs to be a small shop, a dairy, or anything. It's just a 2 minutes job where you pay around, I guess, $10. I don't remember that much, but I guess it was
Mm-hmm.
$10 that I paid over there, and I got my card, new
Okay.
SIM card that I got. The orientation week was basically about information about each and everything, about the country, about the course. Course was you have to meet your own professor one to one, and I met my professor in the orientation.
Okay.
I approached him and I met him. So he actually told more about the course as well. Okay, the parameters, the course curriculum was there with my hand, but I was like, I wanted to know more about it. So
Mm,
maybe if, because as I said before, I had a huge selection of electives that I can choose from. So I
mm,
was making sure that, okay, this is the elective that I really wanted to do. This
mm-hmm.
question was there in my mind. So yeah, when I had a word with my professor, it was like, okay, yeah, I was like satisfied. Okay, so this is the elective that I want to do.
So would you just like to put some light about your experience about the difference between your Indian education that you had for your undergrad and everything, and what you're currently pursuing? What are the major differences that you find in both these things?
Oh, so the major difference that that is actually hitting me
Mm-hmm.
here it's more about discussion based. It's more about activities.
Okay.
It's more about practicality, and it's very less theory over here. So
Okay.
on assignments as well, we used to get case studies that we have to solve, and we have to do research on that. So we somewhat read tons of hospitality books and get to know things. So basically, in India, it's somewhat like it's like bookworm thing. Okay, this is the thing, this you have to do, and this is gonna come in the exam.
Yep.
Only your head works, your brain works in that way. Okay, I have to study this. This is gonna come exam, and this is I'm gonna get marks. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've experienced here is like in the whole course, I just completed my term one and I just had to give two exams.
Okay.
And I had four modules and I just gave two exams. And those two exams were pretty practical for me. They were
Mm-hmm.
MCQ questions, paper based MCQ questions. And it was overall those things that were used to come in in the hospitality sector. Practicality and the principles that I'm doing, it's still over there. I
Mm-hmm.
what I'm learning and what I'm applying in this job as well. I get to learn those things that I can apply in the job.
In a student's life, it's not, the overseas, yeah, not just about studying and exams. Are there any clubs or societies that your college has that you can, kind of join to unwind, and that creates an opportunity for to network and meet other people? So are there such things in the college?
Yeah. So when you enter a college and it's always about open your head, open your eyes, you're pretty open, get to know things as much as you can because
Mm,
you are here for a while and you have to make a good impact on people and you have to make a good network as well with other people. So then you find sources. The
okay.
sources which I found out were like I tagged a lot of I went to a lot of events, social events, some small social events that I went to just interact with people and whether that event was basically not for me and not for my hobby, but
Mm-hmm.
if it is open for all, then too I made an effort, I should go there, just see what's happening over there. So I went over there. I Events are something, you get to meet people in events. So basically we have a few clubs over here which are kinda inactive. I couldn't meet a few because of this COVID thing that happened, and
Mm-hmm.
we had a lot of our lectures on video call only. So it was just like 15 days I attended college, and then there was lockdown over here.
Okay.
So I had attended a few events, and now I guess in my term two, I would meet new people around, and get to know more clubs. I have heard about a few clubs, but let's see, because clubs are basically like they play a very important role, and you can go and meet people around
New
and
individuals.
go approach a person, have a word with him, have a friendly conversation with him, because that's the only way you can meet and network people.
Yep. Networking in a strange and a new place
And outside
becomes more
college as well,
important.
you can follow a lot of, yeah, outside college as well, you can follow a lot of volunteer groups as well,
Mm-hmm.
where, you can meet a lot of people. So the more people you meet, you can network a lot, and you can climb the ladder that you want to.
Yep, that's right. I was just talking about the current situation. So as you mentioned, that initial 15 days where you're on campus, kind of normal lectures, and then you had to move on to online video-based lectures. So what do you think with the coming term, how is the education going to be for you? Or how are the lectures conducted? How are the professors approachable still, given that you cannot meet them in person now? So how to discuss and solve your queries?
So basically, my professors were pretty active
Mm-hmm.
with their approach, with their job, and they were very serious about their job, about having a good communication and being in personal touch with the students.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to get assignments online. It used to be like every day there used to be a 45 minutes lecture.
Okay.
Usually it used to be physically it used to be a 3 hours lecture, but on video call it just reduced to 45.
Okay.
So in the meanwhile, we were told to, we have our own portal. So every college has their own college
Portal.
portal, and there they upload stuff. So you have to go through the stuff as well. And over there were assignments and everything that was on the modules that you learned uh, in the week. The professors were quite approachable. I remember we currently, the professors have actually given their contact numbers as well to us to,
Oh.
just, yeah. So it was just like the professors were just one call away from us.
Mm-hmm.
So we were in touch with a lot of professors, and the assignments that we had done. The assignments we need to do, we had, of course, assignments were there, so definitely the queries had to come up. So they were quite approachable for me. For me, they were quite approachable. I can say my experience. So the reply used to be like, okay, this is day, let's schedule it. And they used to make sure that each and every student is comfortable doing
Mm-hmm.
the assignment, has no queries to do the assignment. So yeah, the professors were quite approachable to us, very approachable.
And also given, with the job sector as well, now all the New Zealand, most of the thing is in control and it's almost back to normal life like it was before. So how is the job sector looking for you right now, especially the hospitality space, which actually is one of the crowded industries when it comes to events, because an event cannot happen
Yeah.
with two or three or 10 people, it usually big numbers. And given this, it was all about social distancing. So given your field, how do you see the jobs? Are there fewer openings or how is it working now?
So basically, it's kind of redundant. It's
Hmm.
very redundant right now. So it's basically like for 1.5, 2 months we were in lockdown and there were no events happening.
Okay.
And after that, the economy has slowly picked up and business hours are coming back to normal. So there the consequences are gonna be there for sure for a
Mm.
few months. Basically, New Zealand is all about hospitality and tourism. Mainly how much I have researched about it. It's one of the most important sectors,
Mm-hmm.
hospitality and tourism. So the tourism and hospitality is gonna go reduce because for the next 6 to 8 months there is no international travel that is gonna enter New Zealand. Whether it's gonna be international, there's no international travel overall
Traveling
in
happens.
New Zealand. So yeah, so the domestic travel is only the thing that the New Zealanders will earn from.
Hmm.
So on a very basic level, you see, so it's the only thing that comes is hospitality, where you go eat and enjoy over there. So the hotels are somewhat going down. They are going down in a negative thing, but it is taking a bit slow uppercase right now. It is gonna go up soon. The job market is there. I feel there. If you if you search for a job, you will definitely get a job.
Mm-hmm.
The number of job seekers are also high.
Okay.
For one position, it's around 300 to 400 applications that's happening.
Mm.
So the number of job seekers are also high. The employers are also making an effort to give jobs away to keep the economy running.
And then now let's the last and countdown question for you. Any final
Yeah.
tips for any person thinking about New Zealand or overseas education, or what are your final tips for that person?
So my final tips is gonna be pretty simple and easy. It's gonna be research, research and research. The more you research, the more you're gonna get into the crux of it.
Yeah.
Because and research each and everything, each and every parameter that maybe I've mentioned, many of them might have mentioned in the earlier episodes. Just get a collective idea about your own parameters because each and every person has their own set of parameters.
Yeah.
So get your parameters set, start researching about it, meet people around, meet people who have gone to a country, talk to them. So you're gonna get a lot of idea about it. It's nothing like you're gonna be in a shell and you're gonna just research about it on your own because if somebody has gone and he has more authentic and realistic experience
Yeah.
than you, he has been on the ground level for a while, maybe 3 years, 4 years, and he has a very good idea about how things
Mm.
work. Talk to them, talk to similar people, join groups. The more you join groups, the more you're gonna get information about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Join as much groups as you it's possible. Be in tons of groups as you want because and luckily, the Facebook, Instagram, these all have their own algorithm set where you 2, 3 times you click the similar group,
It
they're gonna give the
shows you.
same recommendation again and
Yes.
again. So you can use this algorithm for yourself.
Sure.
Keep in groups, get your things done, and it's trust me, my 6 months have been the wonderful 6 months that I've ever had in my life. It's it's like it's like a globe where there is positive things happening, negative things happening. You are responsible for your own stuff. Your consequences, your actions, everything. You play calculatively. You get to learn a lot of things.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all about your self journey,
Mm.
your individualism, and it's gonna be a great journey.
Sure.
And homesickness and cultural shocks are gonna happen. That is the basic thing because you are somewhat coming to an international company, to an international country, meeting Western people around. So there are going to be cultural shocks, but that doesn't mean you just be in that cultural shock. You learn the culture and you adapt it. Because when you adapt it, because here you're gonna adapt new things. It's nothing like you're gonna be in your own shell, then you'll be behind. You have to come, you have to adapt new things that you can adapt. I'm not saying to be a people pleaser. I'm not saying like, to be like going around and pleasing people.
Be
It's
selectively
all
available.
about
Yeah.
adapting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like be
Be
aware.
be aware of the
Yeah.
yeah, be aware of the situations.
Well, it was really nice talking to you. Thanks
So those
for
are my
taking.
last words.
Yep.
Same
Thanks for
here.
taking precious time out. And sorry to bother. I know it's actually the next day for you. I think it's around 5 a.m. now. What's the time now?
Yeah, it's 5:30.
Yeah, so it's a good morning for you. Sorry to bother you late in this night
Thank
and
you
really
so much.
appreciate, man, giving your time and, narrating your personal experience. I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Arpit, I thank you as well. The I feel, the approach that you have done to me, it's gonna be a milestone for me right now. Like it's a milestone that I have achieved, and somebody, has approached me for an interview. Like so, it's kind of milestone for
It's
me.
just a start for you.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to, because I have just came. It's just
Yeah,
been 6 months, and I'm just a beginner as an international student. And then too, you have given me the opportunity to speak and share my story. This could be something worth to you and your channel.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So
More
thank you
than the
so much
channel,
for
it's for the
having this
people
interview.
who's somebody out there looking for some authentic information
Exactly.
that he or she could actually derive some, better things from your personal journey. So that's the main motive, and let's see where things
Exactly.
go.
And
Once
I'm,
again,
I'm available, how much ever information they want, they can message me. You
sure,
can
sure. I'll just
mention
link
my
your,
Instagram ID as
yeah, I
well.
should write it down in the description so that if somebody wants to contact you, they can actually reach out
Yeah,
to
if
you and then you
somebody
can
wants
make
to
the,
talk to me, yeah, because I somewhat understand and I somewhat feel how does it feel. Yeah, being done that seriously. So it would be a great gesture from my side to help. I would be a worth help to anybody else.
sure, sure. I'll link the
So
your
yeah,
description, the information, social handles down below. And then people could just reach out if they need any information or help from you.
definitely for sure.
So thanks once again, and wish you all the best in
Thank you so
your
much.
for the
Yeah,
university, and as well as stay safe and stay happy, man.
yeah. Thank you so much. You also stay happy.
I hope you guys like this two-part series covering New Zealand. If you feel I might have left certain questions and you have still more doubts, you can let me know down in the comments section. So in the future, whenever for the future guests who will be speaking about their journey in New Zealand, I'll make sure to answer all your queries. Hope you like this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell because it really helps and motivates me to produce more good content and help you all. And please make sure to spread the word as far as possible so that somebody from us, from the student fraternity, gets benefited and helps them in making their journey more beautiful and pleasant and without any hiccups. So please make sure to like it. Also, do not forget to follow us on Instagram. The ID is the Student Insights Podcast, and the link is down in the description. Please follow me there. As mentioned earlier, there would be certain short link content and certain useful links and tips that I would be only posting on Instagram. And before I upload the episode on YouTube, I would be updating the date and the time on Instagram only. So please make sure to follow me on Instagram, like, share, and subscribe. Till then, stay safe, stay happy. See you in the further coming episodes. Bye bye.